By discussing let's continue section 4.3 indices and laws of indices. We will be using these laws to solve the following question. In this video, we will learn the method to solve this kind of question. So for part A, what we have to do here is first to figure out the common prime factors of the question. So from here, we can see two numbers, 81 and 27. So we can think of the number 3. If we rise to the power of 3, we will obtain 27. And if we rise to the power of 4, we will obtain 81. Which means that we can rewrite the equation as 3 to the power of 4 times 3 to the power of 3. This is only for 27. We still have the power 2x. The whole thing with power 2x is equal to 1. Then we apply the law number 7. A to the power of m to the power of n, power to the power. So it's equivalent to power multiplication. So we have 3 times 2, which is equal to 6 and equal to 1. Then next, we have the common factor here. Then common factor with different power and multiply. So common factor with different power multiply. So we use the law number 3. So power plus together, which means that we have 3, 4 plus 6x is equal to 1. And from here, unfortunately, this is 3, this is 1. We are not able to compare left hand side and right hand side. So what do we have to do here is refer to the law number 1. As we can see, anything power 0, we obtain 1. Which means that we can rewrite 3 to the power of 0 is equal to 1. 3, 4 plus 6x. 3 is equal to 3, which means that 4 plus 6x should be exactly equal to 0. So we have 4 plus 6x is equal to 0, which means that x is equal to, bring 4 to the right hand side become negative, 6 bring to the right times 6 become divide 6. And the answer equal to negative 4 over 6, and we obtain negative 2 over 3, and we done. B, on the right hand side we have cube root of 27 to the power of 3x plus 5. Before that, let's consider we have 2 to the power of 3, the whole thing power 2, which means that we will have 3 times 2. This is exactly equivalent to 2 to the power of 2 times 3. 3 times 2 and 2 times 3, we will obtain exactly the same number. Which means that we can rewrite 2 to the power of 3 to the power of 2 as 2 to the power of 2, the whole thing power 3. Same go to this part. So instead of we solve 27 to the power of 3x plus 5 first, we can rewrite 27 to the power of cube root, which means that power 1 over 3. Then the whole thing with power 3x plus 5. And this is equal to the right hand side 9 to the power of 2x times 3 to the power of 5 minus 2x. From here, we find the common prime factor, so which is 3. 3 to the power of 3, we obtain 27. And from here, 27 to the power of 1 over 3. And the whole thing power 3x plus 5. 9 is 3 to the power of 2. And we have 2x. 3 already the prime factor, so we don't have to do anything here. We just copy exactly the same. Okay, next, 3 times 1 over 3, we obtain 1. So 1 times 3x plus 5, we obtain 3x plus 5. Power to the power, so times together, 2 times 2, we obtain 4. And the last one, 3, 5 minus 2x. With the common factor, power plus together. So 4x plus 5 minus 2x. Since everything here, the index here exactly equal to 3 for the left hand side and right hand side, which means that we can bring down the power 3x plus 5. Then we just have to solve this equation. From here, we bring all the unknown, the term with unknown x to the one side and not without unknown to the other side. So which means that we will have the x term on the left hand side and without x term on the right hand side. So bring this to the left side. So positive bring over become negative. Negative move over become positive. This one remain on the right hand side since without x. So 5. This one without x as well. So we have to move to the right hand side. Positive move over become negative, which means that we have 5 minus 5 is equal to 0. So 3 minus 4 plus 2. 3 minus 4 plus 2. We obtain 1. So 1x is equal to 0, which means that x is equal to 0, and we done. See, unlike the previous question, we are not going to determine a prime factor because as we can see, this is 3. The prime factor is 3, but the prime factor of 4 and 8 is 2. They are not the same, so it's meaningless for us to complete. So what we have to do here, we can split the power first. So which means that based on the law number 4, minus which means that divide. So we have 4 to the power of 3 over 4 to the power of x. And this is equal to 3 times 4 to the power of 5 minus again divide 4 to the power of 2x and minus 8. We know that 4 to the power of 2x we can rewrite as 4x times 2, which is 4x the whole thing square. So from here we have 4 cubed is equal to 64. 64 divided by 4x is equal to 3 times 4 to the power of 5, which is 1024. We can straight times 3 and we obtain 3072. So we write 3072 over 4x to the power of 2 minus 8. Up to this point, if let's say we can see the pattern, basically we are able to convert this equation to quadratic form. If let's say we are not familiar with this, doesn't matter, we can let a be equal to 4 to the power of x, which means that we will obtain 64 over a is equal to 3072 over a squared minus 8. And we times the whole equation by a squared. So we have a squared over a equal to a, so 64a. A squared over a squared, 1, so 3072 minus 8 times a squared. Then we rearrange the equation, we obtain 8a squared minus move over become plus. So plus 64a plus move over become minus 3072 is equal to 0. If let's say we want to simplify this equation, then we can divide the whole equation by 8. So 3072 divided by 8, we obtain 384. So a squared plus 8a minus 384 is equal to 0. Even we did not reduce, also doesn't matter, because our intention is to obtain the value of a instead of simplifying the equation. So we can make use of the calculator function, look for the equation and the polynomial. We have degree 2. So a is 8, b is 64, and c is negative 3072. So we obtain x1, we can label at a side, so x1 is equal to 16. And what is x2? x2 is equal to negative 24. If you want to write the step, we can write x minus 16 equal to 0. X plus 24 equal to 0. So we have a minus 16 times a plus 24 is equal to 0. So from here, a is equal to 16 and a is equal to negative 24. Our intention is not to determine a, but to determine the value of x. What is a? A is 4 to the power of x. So we have 4 to the power of x is equal to 16 and 4 to the power of x is equal to negative 24. When a positive power we rise to any power, we will definitely obtain positive value. Any positive value rise to any power, let's say n, will definitely obtain positive value. We won't have negative, which means that this is not logic. So we should reject this value. So this is being rejected, which means that we have only one value left. So from here, 4x is equal to 16. In order for us to know what is the x, so we determine the same factor. 4 and 16, we know that 4 square is equal to 16. Then which means that x is equal to 4 and we done. Example of this video, again we will use the same method in part C. Since we have 3, 2, 5, all of them are prime factors, so which means that we are not able to find the common factors here. Then we just rewrite the equation. 3 minus is equal to 25, so we have 25 to the power of x over 25 to the power of 1. So plus 2 plus, which means that multiply. So we have 5x times 5 squared equal to 53. 5 to the power of 4 divide 5x. Then we can compute, or we times the whole equation by 25 first. So we have 3. Okay, before that we double check. Since we have 5x and 5x, only this is 25x. So we have to try our best to change 25x to 5x. So we know that 25 is equal to 5 to the power of 2, which means that if we rise to the power of x, is equivalent to 5 to the power of 2x. Or we can rewrite as 5x to the power of 2. So we have 5x to the power of 2 plus 2 times 5 squared times 25. So we have 1250 times 5x is equal to 53 times 5 to the power of 4 times 25. Then we obtain 828,125. The whole thing over 5x. If let's say we are not familiar how to handle this, doesn't matter, we can rewrite the equation using unknown. So we let a be equal to 5x, which means that we have 3a squared plus 1250a is equal to 828,125 over a. So the whole thing we times a, and we obtain 3a cubed plus 1250 a squared. So this one plus move over become minus 828,125 is equal to 0. So from here we can see that this is cubic function. We can try and error to obtain the first factor and we factorize completely, or we can make use of the calculator function, look for the equation function. So we have polynomial degree 3. So the first coefficient 3 and 1250. C is missing, so put 0, and the last one negative 828,125. When we press equal, we can check that here with I, which means that the answer may contain complex number. So what we can do here is we try and error to determine what is the real solution for this equation. Since I have one integer, so I will think of 25. So let's check. See if 25 is the real solution. So we have 3. We can make use of the unknown in the calculator. Cube plus 1250 a square minus 82815. So we calculate when a equal to 25 and see whether equal to 0. Okay, it's not equal to 0. How if, let's say, we have when a is, the number missing 2. So we have to enter again 25. So calculate when a is 25. So it's equal to 0, which means that a equal to 25 is a real solution. Or we can rewrite a minus 25. Okay, since we have 3, but here only a, which means that we should have 3a squared. 3a squared times a, we obtain 3a cubed. Then here is negative, here is negative, so we should have positive. So we take 828,125 divided by 25, and we obtain 33,125 equal to 0. Then what we need here is 33,125 times. So this is a. What we have here is only a squared, which means that this one times this one and this one times this one should be equal to this. So we can let it be Ka here. So Ka times a is equal to Ka squared. Then minus 25 times 3 is equal to 75a squared. And this must be exactly equal to 1250a squared. So a squared cancel all, so we left only k. So minus bring over become plus 1250 plus 75. Then we obtain 1325. Then from here we can check this should be complex root. So we have equation polynomial degree 2. So we have a 3, b 1325, and c 33,125. So we obtain complex and complex root. So which means that we have only one real solution. Since according to the question, x must be real number, which means that we have only a is equal to 25. Then what is a? A is 5x, which means that 5x is equal to 25, and 25 equal to 5 squared. So we have x is equal to 2, and we done. Okay, that's all for this video. Thanks for watching. Hope you like this. See you.